Yeah, we can start now. The rest will be joining soon.
ऑडियो राखो चालू ऑडियो बंद रखे दो
I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to start the meeting. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Adam. I'm one of the trustees of Sylvester Diabetes. Keith Vass, our chairman, sends his apologies. He will try to join us later, subject when his plane lands. We had a busy January with testing camps in Thane, Maharashtra, and in Leicester. We also had our annual award night, and we honored the NHS Diabetes Supremo Pataka, where over 100 people attended. Our special guest today is Yasmin Latif, a registered nutrition therapist and health coach. She specializes in hormone balance, midlife health, weight management, and gut health. She works one-to-one with clients to create personalized nutrition and lifestyle plans that support sustainable long-term well-being. Yasmin trained with distinction of College Naturopathic Medicine in London and is registered member of BANT, CANHC, ANP, and GNC. She combines evidence based on nutrition therapy, practical health coaching to empower clients to feel energized, confident, and in control of their health. She has particular interest in supporting metabolic health and helping individuals better understand the powerful connection between food, lifestyle, and blood sugar balance. Through clear guidance and achievable steps, she supports clients making informed choices that promote long-term health and reduce the risk of chronic disease. And her topic is menopause and diabetes, managing blood sugar therapy, hormone change. Welcome to Diabetes Chai Chat, Yasmin. Good afternoon.
Thank
Good
you,
evening.
Adam. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Thank you. So I've got about 50 minutes. We can start, and then we're going to ask people from the floor to ask the questions.
Yeah, sure. So I've got some slides. I'll just share them with you. So hope it's there. Where are you? Just a second. And of course, I can't find them. For some reason, it's not seems to be on here. I have no idea why, because it was working before. Just a second. Let's have another look.
Take your time.
Oh, there it is. Thank God for that. I'm just sharing them. Is that, can you see them?
Yes.
You can. Oh, okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to talk about thriving through perimenopause and menopause with stable blood sugar. So I specialize in women's health, but also I do have male clients as well, but my speciality is women's health. And we're going to talk a little bit about why menopause can make our blood sugars feel like we can't manage them as well as we could before, even if you've not had symptoms before and you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or are pre-diabetic. So I'm going to help and kind of teach you a few things that will make you feel a lot better from day to day. And, so you feel confident and more in control as well. So first of all, why does menopause affect our blood sugar levels? Well, it's to do with our wonderful estrogen, which men have a small amount as well, but mostly it's for women, is our bodies thrive on estrogen. So estrogen kind of supports our cells, makes them more insulin sensitive. And as our hormones decline, particularly our estrogen and our progesterone, become a little bit more insulin resistant to this wonderful hormone called insulin, which is produced in our pancreas. And if you didn't know, so insulin kind of like works like a key where it unlocks the cells and it drives then the sugar from the blood can go into the cells, and the cells use the glucose or the sugar for energy. So when estrogen declines, our cells become more sensitive to the blood sugar dysregulation, and it can make our blood sugar feel a little bit more less predictable. So the common signs of blood sugar imbalance are things like energy crashes. 1 minute you'll feel like you've got loads of energy, and then you've eaten something, and half an hour later you might feel like you're ready for bed, or you just want to crash out onto the sofa. We're more likely to get sugar and carbohydrate cravings, particularly in the evening. Our moods change. Our sleep pattern is a bit more disrupted, particularly if we have having hot flashes or night sweats as well. Also more likely to gain weight, particularly around the middle, and just generally to feel very tired. And there's a whole series of different symptoms, and sometimes you might not get any symptoms at all. Now, these symptoms, by looking at them, they do feel like they're menopausal symptoms, and I do believe that blood sugar imbalance has a lot to do with our menopausal symptoms. So it's very important that we try to kind of get it under a little bit of control if we can manage that. And believe me, it's more easier than you think. I'm going to show you how to do that. So if we do get our blood sugar levels are more stable, it is really important because then we'll feel like we have a lot more energy. Our cravings will be less, our moods will be better, we'll get better sleep, and also reduces our diabetes risk later on in life if you haven't been diagnosed already. And another thing that we need to be, which is quite important, is it also reduces our risk of getting Alzheimer's, which is the type of dementia, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. So it increases greatly, particularly for women after the age of 50. More women are more likely to get Alzheimer's than men. And a recent study that came from the University of Liverpool found that if your blood sugar levels remain high 2 hours after you've eaten, this increases your chance of getting Alzheimer's later on by 69%, which is really, really high. So really important to cut this to get our blood sugar levels under control. So as I said, I'm going to try to make it simple as I can. So first of all, these are my three pillars of blood sugar balance to start you off. So first of all, let's eat on a regular basis. Let's not starve ourselves in between. And a lot of my clients sometimes will do this because they think it's helping their weight, but in fact, it's not at all. It's actually making our blood sugars go all over the place. It's very important to eat regularly so we have our blood sugars are a regular nice steady curve, or just going up and down very gradually throughout the day. Also, really important to start the day with a breakfast. Now, I say savory because first thing in the morning, our cells are very sensitive to insulin because we've been fasting all night, been sleeping. So, always a good idea to start with a savory breakfast. And by meaning savory, I mean things like eggs, cheese, meats, even eating the meal that we cooked the night before, making sure that's our first meal of the day is perfectly fine. Um, Breakfast, I feel, is very important because it will set you up for the day, and it will make you feel if we're not eating properly, it'll kind of affect our mood, our energy levels, and our blood sugar levels will be all over the place. So it's true. I believe breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We're going to talk about how to make a few balanced food choices. Now, I teach no food is bad. all food is wonderful. It's very important to have a good relationship with food. It's just a matter of knowing what to eat, when to eat it, and how often to eat it, and how much to eat it. It's as simple as that. And by eating the right nutrients in our diets, you're helping to support your hormones with the right nutrients. And it's not just our estrogen that we need to support. Our body's made with lots and lots of different hormones that need lots of support. So this is how a balanced plate looks like. So it's quite important to visualize what we're going to put on our plates. It's more straightforward if you can see what you're doing. So you can see that one quarter on the right, quarter on the top, we have protein. So protein, I mean things like chicken, fish, tofu, eggs, even beans. Now protein is quite important because it keeps us full for longer. So really good idea to start with protein the first thing in the morning, including in our breakfast. Keeps us full for longer. We're less likely to have those sugar crashes and less likely to have snacks as well and get cravings as well. So brilliant for weight loss, if that's what you're aiming for. Half of the plate is vegetables. Now, fiber is really, really important because when we eat fiber, it kind of forms a mesh in our stomach. So when we're eating our foods, the energy levels are going to be more gradual because the sugar will kind of drip feed into our bloodstream. So we have steady energy and we're not getting the highs and lows and all the other symptoms that I spoke about before. So vegetables, I mean things like leafy greens, Brussels sprouts, peas and broccoli. So next time you go to the supermarket, just kind of look at your trolley and think about all the colors of the rainbow. And I would like you to aim more for vegetables than fruit. Fruit, I would kind of like leave to the end of the meal. Healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, nuts and seeds. It works similarly to protein. If you have a healthy fat in your diet or in your meal, you'll feel more satisfied and feel less likely to snack as well. And healthy fats are brilliant again for your brain, which is really important this time of life, this time of in our lives. Now, carbohydrates, excellent source of glucose, and all our cells need glucose to function. And it's not about giving up your favorite foods, it's just making those swaps, which I mentioned before. Like instead of having brown rice, let's have, instead of having white rice, let's change to brown rice. Instead of having white pasta, let's change to brown pasta. Let's have sweet potatoes with their skins on. These are different little changes that you're doing throughout the day in your meals. So you're still enjoying what you're eating, but you're just making those little hacks just to make it a little bit more healthier. So if we fill up the quarter of our plate of those carbohydrates, that's brilliant. Because these are kind of complex carbohydrates I want you to focus on, not simple carbohydrates, which brings me to the next slide. So these are all simple carbohydrates. Basically, these foods don't have any fiber at all, and they will spike your blood sugar levels. Now, I'm not saying please don't eat any of these foods. Like I said, no food is bad, but you know, try not to eat them as standalone snacks or meals. If you're going to enjoy them after your main meal. Um, you don't have to have biscuit, cakes, and pastries every single day. Maybe save it as a treat over the weekend. It's just making those little changes here and there. I mean, I enjoy all of these foods and I eat all of them. It's just a matter of balance. And you can also adapt these foods into something more healthy and balanced like this. So instead of having toast and jam, let's try eggs on whole grain toast. Instead of eating fruit alone, have fruit with a nut butter or yogurt, which is a protein and a healthy fat. Biscuits, let's try dark chocolate, at least 70%, okay? Cocoa solids with nuts and juice. And, you change it for whole fruit and protein, for example, a banana with peanut butter. And, some of them you might think, well, actually, I don't want to have it whole fruit. I actually want to drink the juice, and that's fine. What I would say is then maybe think about filling your glass up with half of the juice and then adding water or sparkling water instead. That way that you're kind of reducing your sugar in your juice, and having the juice at the end of the meal is also a very good idea. So, as I said, nutrition is really, really important, but I do feel like lifestyle habits is what underpins all of the nutrition that we have from day to day. one does not work without the other. Our bodies are kind of interconnected. So we could be eating really, really well, but if we're not managing our stress, we're not sleeping well, I'm afraid the nutrition is not going to really help you at all. So after you've eaten, instead of sitting on the sofa and watching TV, and yes, we've all done that, go for a jog, go for a walk, play with the children, tidy up a bit, keep your body moving. So get that sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells and muscles instead. Another thing is strength training. So muscles are metabolic tissues, okay? It's shown that, and they're very hungry as well. So more muscle you have, your better regulation is of your sugar in your bloodstream as well. As I said, stress is very, very important, managing it. I would always say, breathe, find meditation, breathe, pray, do some writing in a journal, go out and do some exercise. Even though we're in February, it is getting a little bit lighter. So, just get out there, go join a class, help reduce your stress levels. And again, let's prioritize our sleep, especially as women going into midlife. I know it can be really tough with the nights, sweats, our anxiety levels go through the roof as well. But I would say try your best to get yourself into a routine. There's lots of different ways you can kind of like get your sleep pattern really, really well. In the morning, stick your head out the window, for example, retrain yourself. This is time to get up. And, if you don't sleep well, our body actually finds it much harder to manage our blood sugar levels during the day. And even if you're eating really well, your body's going to struggle. So, everything works together, really important. So, even though I'm talking about nutrition, and it might seem really tough at the beginning, but it's about making small, consistent changes every single day. You don't have to be perfect. As I said, don't skip meals. Always start the day with some protein and healthy fat if you can. Reduce ultra processed foods. And one of the things that I think, if I can't pronounce the ingredient, I know it's going to be ultra processed because it's not in my kitchen as well. If you make small changes every single day, before you know it, after a year, you'll feel, well, actually, I made so many changes, and that would work much better for you than you start doing everything in one day because you're not going to stick to it. Even I can't stick to it. So let's do a challenge. Let's try to have a savory breakfast for 7 days. That's the only habit that you need to change. Focus on getting a savory breakfast every morning. And you can Google lots of different type of recipes, just be creative in the kitchen and see what you come up with. And then the week after, choose another habit. For example, if you're drinking 3 glasses of water, why not add four? And the week after, add another habit. And believe me, by the end of the year, you'll be surprised how fantastic you feel, hopefully. And you made so many changes. This works much better. It's not about perfection at all. It's small changes, big impact. So I just wanted to reframe menopause again, particularly in our Asian communities. I feel from what I've noticed and when I've spoken to groups of Asian women, everybody's still, there is still a little bit of stigma attached to it in our communities, not in the wider United Kingdom, not in the English community. And, we should be able to talk about this more often. It affects everybody. It doesn't just affect the women, it'll affect your partners, your children, your friends. It is a big change, but it's not a failure. It's biology. And I think as well that, if you do get to the menopause, we are very, very lucky too, because I have lost two friends before the age of 50 who didn't get to the menopause. And I'm pretty sure they'll do absolutely anything to be here with us right now. So it's not a failure, it's just a transition. It's biology. It's up to us to take control of our health. It's an opportunity to support, get ourselves that support and go out there and show the world what we're made of because we have so much knowledge and so much to give to our communities and to society as a whole. And of course, most importantly, to ourselves. So, if you do need some support, if any of this resonates with you, I love to help. As Adam spoke at the beginning, I do have clients. I work one-to-one. I do give personalized health plans to you. I work with doctors and GPs. I do private testing. It's everything is bespoke to you. And these are the few ways you can contact me via email, website, or via Instagram. I am actually offering 30 minutes complimentary call, which I can discuss with you the how I can work with you and we can kind of discuss your health goals as well. So far, I have to admit that I have had really good success rate with all my clients. If you read my reviews, hopefully that reflects it. I also teach nutrition as well, and I have spoken quite a lot to charities, particular women charities, and taken to a stage a few times as well about menopause and empowering our South Asian sisters. So,
Thank you
if there's any
very much.
questions.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. That was amazing. So, can I ask if anyone's got a questions from the floor? If you want to unmute yourself, who's got a question? Or put a hand up?
Any questions at all about nutrition, about lifestyle, supplements? I can
Just
answer
one
anything.
question.
Okay.
Do the dietary recommendations change during menopause for blood sugar control?
Yes, they do. They do change. I think we just have to become more wary of what we put in our bodies. So, the foods that we could tolerate before, later on, you might find actually I can't tolerate certain foods, and I think it is the changes in our body because with estrogen, you'd be surprised, all of our women's bodies have estrogen receptors, even our knees do, our brains do. So it's just a matter of kind of just adapting and changing. And it doesn't have to be such a big overhaul. If you're generally quite healthy during your lifetime, it's absolutely fine. There's always a way to kind of like reframe how you think. This is going to be the best part of your life, and eating well is just one part to help you along this particular chapter in your life.
Any questions from the floor? Might have second question. Are there differences in menopause-related diabetes risks across ethnic or racial groups?
Um, I don't think so. Definitely not. I think just generally all women, we all have estrogen. So chances of getting diabetes, type 2 diabetes, does increase when we're perimenopausal and postmenopausal. This is just to drop, like I said before, to do with our estrogen dropping and making ourselves less sensitive to insulin.
I think there is a questions that Boji wants to ask. You can unmute yourself. Hello. I think she is doing a message.
Okay.
Chadrika, what can I? Okay. Rajiv, are you able to? I think typing a message. How can I try and control blood sugar? Type 2 diabetes.
Okay. So as I mentioned in the slides, try to start the day with a savory breakfast. As I mentioned, eggs, meats. There's different type of recipes that you can find online. That's really, really important. Um, I wouldn't start the day with caffeine. You can have your coffee after your breakfast. I think that'd be a really good thing. You're vegetarian, vegan? So there's lots of different things you can do. So, you can try using oats, for example. I would always go for the steel cut oats rather than the ordinary oats because steel cut oats are less processed. But I would with this steel cut steel cut oats, that's right. So I would try to kind of like use something like Greek yogurt, full fat Greek yogurt. I put some berries into there, do some nuts and seeds, just balance it really, really well. Um, Other vegan options you can do. There's lots of different vegan options. Off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think. You can do something like a beans taco or like a wrap with beans and put lots of vegetables in there and things like that, which is again very satisfying because it's complex carbohydrate. There's protein in there as well. Um, you got IBS too. Okay. Well, how about this? I'm not too sure if your name is it Buja? How about if you give me a call and we can talk about it in more detail. Um, oh, Chandrika. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, we can do a half an hour complimentary call. Um, I think with nutrition, it is, as I said, I work with functional medicine, so it seems like quite a lot to cover. I can't unfortunately cover all of that in a few minutes. Um, I can give you my phone
We'll give
number.
you the number at the end if we
Yeah.
can.
If you
Okay.
if you go to my website, Yasmin Latif Nutrition, if you go on one of the pages, you can kind of key me in. Yeah, that's fine. I have worked with vegans and vegetarians. That's not a problem at all. I wouldn't worry about that at all. But as I said, I do personalized plans. So if you decide to work with me, because I work with clients for 3 months, then I would give you a personalized meal plan, and recipes and things like that. Yes.
Thank you
Sure,
very much.
I can work with you. It's not a problem at all. Just just message me and we'll set something up. You're welcome.
So thank you very much. If there are no more questions, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go now to our Sylvester Diabetes Hub, where on Uppingham Road, and ask our director Rajiv Manohar to give us the news headlines of the week.
Yeah. Hi everyone. News headlines of the week. Diabetes patients urged to prevent blood sugar spikes with 3 changes to rice. Recent studies have shown that eating white rice can raise blood sugar glucose significantly, especially if eaten often in large quantities. There are the changes to rice you need to bring down your blood sugar spikes. Soaking rice for at least 1 or 2 hours prior to you cooking it, then straining it really well. Washing it at least 5 times actually combats that big spike that you get later on with the rice. If you have boiled rice, you will get very controlled levels after eating those because when you drain the water, all the starch will be drained. Switch to brown rice. Brown rice is just white rice with an extra layer. And this layer is insoluble fiber. It takes the spike lower and it doesn't give you an instant spike. Next headline, 5 foods to eat to reduce diabetes. Bitter gourd has polypeptides, P. Those are the compounds that can actually help push the glucose absorption into your cells, hence reducing diabetes. Green tea is the best tea to manage diabetes because it has polyphenols and ketones. Guava is considered a superfood for managing diabetes due to its high fiber content and low glycemic index. Chia seeds are a top tier food for managing diabetes. They have a lot of soluble fiber, and the fiber actually helps manage your diabetes better. Cinnamon. It has the capacity to make your body much more insulin sensitive that can help reduce your blood sugar spike and reduce diabetes. The next headline, common diabetic drug may help preserve eyesight as people age. Metformin is an off-patent low-cost drug already widely used to manage blood sugar. According to Mayo Clinic, scientists believe its anti-inflammatory and anti-aging properties that help protect retina. Metformin is generally safe but can cause digestive side effects and vitamin B12 deficiency in some patients. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rajiv, for this. Thank you very much, everyone. Rajiv, are you able to just quickly put the website address into the message because I think people are asking, but I think it's Yasmin Latif Nutrition, if I remember correctly.
That's right, yeah.
.com, so people can get it there. But I think we can also put it on the group that Rajiv's got, so he can inform people of the address after the meeting. That's correct. Message is there. And I think there was a quick question how long the brown rice should be cooked for. But I think till it's ready to eat.
Yeah, with instructions at the back.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Yasmin, for taking part in our diabetes chai chat. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you all keep safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.